Got that going. All right, guys, mic check 1, mic check 2. If you're watching this live stream back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters and skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm still setting up and I'm giving people time to tune in, but I am here. I'm here. Hope you guys had an awesome day. Hope you had an awesome day in the market. Hope that you earned something. Hope that you learned something. I need to catch up on some reading and take some more of these courses. But overall, it was a great day. It was a great day. And part of that is because we working it out on this channel. The channel is growing, guys. I don't know if you know, but I'm trying to tell you. The channel growing, channel doing good, people tuning in. That SpaceX video I did is doing pretty good right now. It's doing pretty good. And the fact that SpaceX is trading below what it IPO'd at when it hit the market is helping, because I know people are searching because they want answers. What's going on with my stock? What's going on with SpaceX? It was supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread. What happened? Yeah. So I know people searching. They searching for answers. SpaceX this, SpaceX that. So since I got my video out in time, I know the YouTube algorithm is showing it to people. I'm also going to put it in the chat tonight. You know, I like to clean my glasses and make sure my lips ain't dry before we get the show started. Thank you, sis, for sharing the content on Facebook. Just got my chime, so I know what that is. Go ahead and cut the phone off. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. What else we got going on? Make sure y'all can hear me, because I watched the video back yesterday. I was like, oh, and every time I turned away from the mic, it was kind of hard to hear me. We gonna fix that. Use this camera as a mirror. Did I put on too much? No, it's all right. It's all right. I ain't blowing y'all no kisses. I'm trying to make sure my lips ain't dry. That's all I'm doing. All right, what else we need to do? We need to launch this chat. Social Stream Ninja. All right, so we got that over here. Close that out. Let's see what we got. Okay, looks like we're good. We're live for YouTube. So let's start putting some of this stuff in the chat. Let's start putting some of this stuff in the chat. Oh man, they didn't save my oh, I gotta save the workspace over here on my chart. So yeah, guys, I used the scratch pad on the Thinkorswim platform yesterday, and it did not save the message I had ready to put in the chat for the video, for the SpaceX video I was telling you about. So I'm about to take care of that now. And thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for the new viewers. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for all the likes, the comments. Very encouraging, and it's helping grow the channel a lot. So I appreciate you. Want to tell you thank you. The chat is open. Matter of fact, let me put this on the thing while I'm setting up. Let me put this on the screen. Yeah, let's have that. Let's have that rolling while I do this. Okay, so let's put this in the chat. Let me move this over here because I can't even see it. There we go. So as I do this, we can go to Social Stream and do a test. Okay, that's working. And I'm glad I did that, because I would not have heard y'all chatting, sending these chats during the live stream, because it's not on the right speaker. So let's, there you go. You hear that? That's what y'all gonna hear when y'all leave a chat during the live stream. So I'm gonna be able to hear you now. It was set to default to go to my duo Rode, my Rode Duo. But we good now. I'll be able to hear you guys when you send the chat. So we got that. Now let's go over to a couple of places. I want to check all of this. I want to check all of it. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go over here to X. And when I go over to X, I'm gonna pop on this live stream. I'm gonna go over here to X. Yep. And then where do I click to go inside? There we are. I'm inside. Post to your reply. No. We want to go to the live stream. Go to the live stream. Go to the live stream. It's kind of weird. Why don't you? Okay, there we go. All right. So let's put this information in the chat and see if it comes through over here on my live stream. Yeah, guys, I'm setting up. If you're just not tuning in, you notice how we do. We start off a little slow, give people time to tune in. The chat box is open. The chat is open. So you guys can ask questions or say whatever you want to say and all that other stuff while we getting this set up. Wonderful. It's working, guys. Thank gosh. All right. So the chat is working on X. So if you send a chat over on X, we know that that is working. Now I'm about to test Facebook, see how that's going. See how that's going. Come on now, come on. All right, so go to Original Greatness. There we go. Bam. All right, main page. Yep, I'm live. I'm live. So let me go in this chat. Let me go in this chat. Click on the video. All right, main page. Yep, there we go. Let me mute this because you guys are going to be able to hear it. All right. And let's see if this works. Nope. I didn't get it. It probably is going to come through delayed. No, it didn't come through. So that might not be working. But I'm not worried about it. So if you guys comment over on Facebook, letting you know right now, I might not get it. Because I just tried it and I did not get it. It didn't come through the Social Stream Ninja. X did, but I told you sometimes it works right, sometimes it don't. So let me share this to my other page. Yeah, let's just do that. Just send it. There we go. So we got that going. So we got Facebook going. We can get off of that. And now I want to go to the YouTube stream. And then we can get ready to do the show, guys. Because I got everything ready. Except I need to do one thing. I just thought about something. Got to do the layout for the earnings. Got to do the layout for the earnings. All right, we clicked on it and waiting on it to load. Okay, there we go. We got it. We got it. We got a new chat. All right, so it's working on YouTube. It's working on X. I did not get the message on Facebook, but at least I know. So it seemed like when it work on Facebook, it doesn't work on X. And when it work on X, it don't work on Facebook. It's just a mess. But we got it. We're going to keep working. We're going to keep doing what we got to do. Clean my desk, looking at that. All right. Now, let's get the earnings screen set up. Let's get the earnings screen set up. We do that by doing this. We're covering Morgan Stanley tonight. Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley. Sean Connery voice. All right. So here we go. Earnings. Let's center this and position it. Bam. Position it. That's good. I'm so happy that I have this chat set up to where when people comment, I'm going to be able to hear it. Because these last few times, I did not have it right. Let me see what's in here. I think I like the first photo. That one's cool. Yeah. All right, so we got the earnings screen set up. We can go back to the main cam. We got the ticker poll. We can take that off. Let me check my last little mouse. We got the audio and everything. Blah, 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 blah. Chat, like. We got that going. Put the links for the video everywhere. Guys, I think we're good. I think we're good. We can go ahead and get started after I sip my water. Let me sip my water and we can go ahead and go. All right. All right. Feeling good. I'm ready to go. Check the prompter. Something weird just happened. There we go. Prompter. We'll do this. Put that back. Bam. Prompter. Okay. All right, guys. Let's get ready to go. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God. Woo, thank God. It's Wednesday. And tonight we're taking a look at ticker MS. You might know them better as Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley was founded in 1935 by Henry Sturgis Morgan and Harold Stanley, with the first office opening in New York City, New York. Now they're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange and have a market value over $300 billion. Yes, that's billion dollars. Morgan Stanley is in the capital markets industry in the financial sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Morgan Stanley's competitors are Goldman Sachs, ticker GS, JP Morgan Chase, ticker JPM, and Citigroup, ticker C. We're going to review Morgan Stanley's earnings, their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, and put a FB in the chat if you're tuning in from... Wait a minute, what did I just say? I don't even know what I just said. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm tripping. Oh. All right, we are doing that. Okay. Hold on. I want to make sure I give you the right letters because we fixed this. The ticker saying something different. All right. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube. Put an FB for Facebook and an X for X. Mission statement. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming live Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk about these pre-earnings. Go there, and go there. Bam. All right, let's go. All right, Morgan Stanley, ticker symbol MS, the $344 billion company, reported it did not report. Oh boy, habit is a mug. Let me tell you something. We're going to start from the top. Habits are something, boy. I'm so used to talking about the earnings after we do it. This pre-earning thing a little different, so I got to get that out of my head. Let's start this one more time. Here we go. Morgan Stanley, ticker symbol MS, the $344 billion company, is reporting its second quarter 2026 fiscal year earnings on Wednesday, July 15th. They have a 52-week high of $230.47, which took place on June 18th, and a 52-week low of $135.26 that occurred on July 16th last year, which is a trading range of $95.21, and they closed today at $218.07. Morgan Stanley is expected to report $19.6 billion in revenue on the top line, with an expected adjusted EPS of $2.90, which would be 15.45% lower than the $3.43 they reported in the previous quarter. The earnings will be released before the market open, followed by 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time conference call. That 52-week low compared to today's closing of $218.07 represents an increase of 61.22% in just under a year. So if someone invested $1,000 in last July at that 52-week low of $135.26, they would be seeing a gain of $612.20. Woo! We did that. All right, let's move on. Here we go. All right, we still had that ticker poll up at the bottom. Oh, I'll update that in the thing. We ain't gonna worry about it. We gonna be all right. I can keep that. I can do that in editing. Where are we now? We are researching the company. All right, let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and the text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? Where we look for those answers in 4 main areas: the homepage for the goods and or services, about us for purpose, values, vision, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for stock quotes, charts, and financial reports. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go visit Morgan Stanley's website. Let's go. All right. Bam, bam, and bam. There we go. All right, let's zoom in. I believe we already good. All right, so here we are on Morgan Stanley's website, and they have investor relations right here at the top. So we know we're going to go there. No, we're not a client. About us and careers. So everything we need is right there at the top. So let's browse over the homepage and then we'll come back and we'll start clicking. All right. Morgan Stanley, Asia's energy build out gains momentum. 3 things that could break the summer rally. Defining the next phase of growth. All right. So what we do at Morgan Stanley, clients come first. We help individuals, families, institutions, and governments raise, manage, and distribute the capital they need to achieve their goals. Explore Morgan Stanley. All right. So if we click on these, they go through different services that they offer. And they go into detail about it, So links are down in the description if you want to take your time and browse through that a little bit deeper. 7 ways to invest in the growing space economy. Oh my. Okay, so recent insights. Subscribe to the Morgan Stanley Institute newsletter. Let me just tell you why I'm laughing. Morgan Stanley is one of the underwriters for SpaceX IPO. So they bought the videos in the link. So they're promoting these shares that they purchased that they need to sell. The video in the link, I'll break that down in the video. So it's in the chat. You can check that out over there. So discover who we are and join us. Okay, more insights. And we're at the bottom. All right, so let's jump up here to the top. And now we're going to go to About Us. Okay. Thank you. I'm so glad they got this hyperlink there. Take me to a whole page and tell me about who you is. Don't have me go through all this. We believe capital can work to benefit all of society. We make this belief a reality by doing the right thing, putting clients first, leading with exceptional ideas, committing to diversity and inclusion, and giving back. Giving back is our global commitment. Here are some stats to giving back. We help our clients build a sustainable future. Okay. Our people are our strongest asset. Let's click through here. Okay. It's just different things about it. Remember, links are down in the description. You want to dig through there a little bit deeper on your own. All right. Investor relations, our board of directors and newsroom. All right. Let me see what we do. Okay, they go into deeper detail about that. You can do that on your own. I want to move a little bit faster. Now, I noticed we've been taking a while with doing these. So let's go to careers. Bam. And now you know what we're looking for. We're looking for the benefits. How well do you take care of your employees? Careers at Morgan Stanley. Whether you are looking to start your career or build on one, Morgan Stanley offers unparalleled opportunities at every level. Enrolls across the globe. Grow your career with us. Okay, experienced professionals, students, and graduates explore opportunities and by the numbers. Here are some stats. Explore global offices, our commitment to diversity and inclusion. I'm looking for the benefits. Technology professionals and financial advisors. Okay, guys, I didn't see anything on there that jumped out at me about some benefits, okay? So let's see if we can try to figure out where they might be hiding, okay? Yep. Guys, I don't think we're gonna find it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think we're gonna find it. So let's just go ahead and move on to investor relations. They shouldn't have you digging through that like that. Don't have me grade your website. You're gonna get a low grade messing with me. Have somebody work like this to find what the benefits are. All right, investor relations. Morgan Stanley, second quarter 2026 investor conference call. Okay. Okay, that's the schedule. Wait a minute. I'm waiting. June 30, 2026. We gotta look into this because I could have sworn they got earnings coming up. Why does that say a date that passed? We'll look at that on the chart. That's what caught my attention. If you're wondering what I'm looking like, why are you looking confused? That's what it was. So here's some stock information. Let's scroll over the investor relations page because I could have sworn I looked on the charts to verify that these earnings were coming up. And this looked weird to me because they're going to announce. We'll look on these charts so I can tell you what I'm talking about. So let's click on this. If it's a link, is it a link? No. Yeah, guys, it's not even a link. And I don't see anything else up here that's going to let us go to a chart or stock quotes. So the stock quotes and charts that we normally see on the website, Morgan Stanley, looks like they don't have it. The only stock information they have is this. It highlights, but when you click on it, it doesn't take us anywhere. Now, I'm curious about this because from my understanding, okay, see, that's why this had me all screwed up. See, here's the date, guys. This is when they actually supposed to do the earnings conference call. So before we clicked on it, they have June 30th, 2026. So this must be the day they scheduled it or something like that. But that's what made me nervous. Like I know I looked and researched all this up. This conference call hasn't happened yet. Why do they have June 30th there? But when we click on it and we actually look at it, they do have it scheduled for July 15th. But Wednesday, July 15th. And that's what we talked about earlier in the live stream. All right. That thing almost gave me a nervous breakdown thinking I messed up. All right, let's talk about their clients and partners. So let's go here. We still have that on the screen. Yeah, we're good. All right, so clients and partners. Morgan Stanley does have clients and partners that are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some notable names include Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, NVIDIA Corporation, ticker NVDA, and Exxon Mobil, ticker XOM. Let's talk about the mobile limitations, guys. Let's talk about that. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited and don't have all the features that are available on full trading platforms. Now let's look at Morgan Stanley on the charts. Let's go. Bam, 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 and put this here. We getting there, guys. All right, so here we go. We have Morgan Stanley on the chart. That does not look like the 30 bars I like to have to the right. So let's get that correct. Pull that over a little. All right. Take me off the screen and let's talk about it. So Morgan Stanley has let's tell you where we're looking. We're looking at a 1 year daily chart. And Morgan Stanley has a 52-week low of $135.26 and a 52-week high of $230.47. Now, before we start doing technicals, we're going to start on a higher time frame, guys. We're going to start on a higher time frame. So let's take that off the screen and let's go to a 10-year weekly chart. Take me off the screen again. So here we go. Morgan Stanley has a 10-year low of $26.39, and they have a 10-year high of $20.47. This area right here is 2026 to the left of that dotted line, okay? So that's what's going on there. That looked really sloppy, so let me delete that. But that's what we're looking at. So that we know that's 2016. And here's 2026. And what we're going to look at over here, or what we talking about and all that other good stuff, is right here. So we got our 200-week simple moving average, which is this dashed white line. And then it's kind of hard to see. So I'm going to zoom in, so you can see this. The dashed green line is our 9-week simple moving average, okay? That's that dashed green line. So a 9-week simple moving average. And that price level for that is $210.52. The actual closing price for today and where we are on the week is $218.07. Now we can put me back on the screen. What else do we have up there? We got Morgan Stanley. Okay. So we can remove this right here. We don't need that drawing on there right now. So let's remove that. And let's look for some technicals. Looking at the 10-year weekly chart. So since the price action is up here, guys, I'm going to say you got some support right here. Let's zoom in. It'd be a lot better if I zoom in so I can get a better view of this. So what I'm attempting to do, I want to get 4 of these candles, but I need to find a price level that's near opens and closes. All right. So what I'm seeing is the body of this red candle. Okay, so when I use that price level, you got $212.03 on the week. And what that does, that gets us 4 candles responding to this price level of $212.03. We have these 4 candles, the 2 greens and the 2 reds. And remember, we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart. So these are weekly bars or weekly candles. Okay. And then when we look over here, we're going to put another price level over here. Let me adjust this. I'm going to use the price level tool. And I want to get as many candles as I can. It looks like the high on this candle right here is going to accomplish that. Okay. And then if we did the body on that candle, we would get even more. Yeah, we would get even more if we did that. So we can look at this as a zone. That'd be the best way to do that. Instead of taking all day, let's do this. So remove that drawing. We want to create a zone. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the body of that candle, which would have been the close on that green candle, and the high. It's not going to let me do it on the same candle. It's not going to let me do it like that on the same candle. The red candle will work, but I can also adjust it. We're going to go with the red candle. All right, we're going to extend this over to the right. So let's take this over to December 1st. Bam. All right. And then we're going to extend this over to January 15th. I don't really need to go back no further. We don't need to, but I'll do it. So it'll cover some of those. So we can see that. Now, put a price level here. That's the top of the zone. And this is the bottom of the zone. So there's $193.14. And then you got $189.09. I'm seeing that the price responded to those price levels here with these weekly candles and these 2 weeks here. It's actually 3 weeks. The 2 greens and then this red candle right here. The wick came up and tested that zone. Okay. Now with the price level being up here, I also would see the 9-week simple moving average as support, and that's at $210.52, which I pointed out over here. And then we also have support right here at $212.03. So they're almost at the same price point. If it gets through that, then I'm looking for it to find support at $193.14 and $190 and $189.90. And then that's also near a psychological price level, which we've been talking about recently. So that round number that it's near is $190. Okay. Now, if it was to make it through there, I would say my next level of support on the weekly chart is going to be where these candles over here. See how these wicks responded to that price level? And then when we come over here, we have these candles responding to it as well. So we could have did that as a zone, but I want to speed up a little bit tonight. So this could have been 165, for instance. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and make that 165. Remove it. Not actually 165. Take me off the screen. I didn't know I was blocking it, so you guys can see it. The body, the body, the body. What did I move? It looked like I moved something. I did. I moved the chart slightly. So it was that candle there. So we're looking at the bodies over here. Yeah, these. That's what we're looking at. But you couldn't see it because we had me blocking it, my big head. And then I was talking about making that more near or bringing that down to 165. Let's see what that is. Yeah. So if we put it on the body of that candle right there, we can do it as a zone. Let's do a zone. I didn't want to take the time to do it, but that's the only way it's going to be right. So let's take this all off. Let's take all this off. Take my time. Take that off. This is not the tool for that. We need this. We need this. Remove these. Remove. Remove. Use the rectangle tool. Body. And then the high of that candle, and then just extend it. December 1st. Guys, I'm going to pick up my speed. I got to get it together. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to get it together. All right. So that's the zone. Here are the price levels, body, and the high of that candle. Spread it. And there we go. So this is on the weekly time frame of a 10-year weekly chart. So we got that. Put me back on the screen. Let's go ahead and go over to our 1 year daily chart for Morgan Stanley. Look at that. I'm so glad we put the time in to do that. So what time frame do we have on this zone? That's 1/1/2024. So if we do that with this one, so that would be 1/1/2024. 1/1/2024. So they'll be the same length. And then we have enough of this time frame done over here already. And then if we zoom in, guys, we can see it looks like they had a gap between, yeah, it had a gap between the candle on July 2nd and July 6th. Are you bullish for bank earnings? Hey, we got a new comment. It looks like we got a new viewer. Let me pull the chat up on the screen, or at least somebody that said something for the first time. Never seen this before, but let's go. Let's take this down. Let's pull up the chat and then we can read it and everybody will see it. Cena Itbella. I have a hard time reading these names, so forgive me if I messed it up. So I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with Cena. Cena, are you bullish for bank earnings? I want to be. But with everything that's going on right now, like the Strait of Hormuz and all of that crazy stuff, it's causing a lot of volatility and unrest in the markets right now. You saw how energy shot up today because of the cancellation of the ceasefire. So we're not under the ceasefire no more. Now the Strait of Hormuz is an issue again. We got conflict with Iran. So oil and gas prices have shot up again. I was optimistic about it, or bullish about it, when we were looking at the sector rotation tool on Sunday, because we were seeing that it looked like financials were doing good. All right, got you. I'm about to pull up your other comments because I didn't even hear them while I was talking, and I hope I'm answering you right. Yep, subscribe and like. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Let's pull up your next one. Tonight rhymes with my name. Tonight Bella. All right. I hope I pronounced that right, and thank you for helping me out. So I'm glad I let you know. I'll be struggling. Don't be trying to mess these names up on purpose, but you know, some of the names be taken. So we find different ways to be creative and say our name and things like that. But yeah, I was bullish on financials, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little nervous about it, or not as confident as I was, because I seen how this macro news or these news headlines with the issues or the conflict is affecting it. Got you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And thank you for the comment and the question. Thank you. And tell me, are you bullish on it? What do you think about it? You can tell me that while I finish this up. So yeah, we're looking at the gap on that. So take that down, put back the earnings. All right. So I think it's a small gap right here, guys. It's a small gap. And then the low of today's candle came down and closed some of it. So let's go ahead and start this gap. We're going to highlight that yellow. You know, that's how we do on the channel. So go ahead and take that over to December 1st. Bam. And then we can see how that wick penetrated that gap. So what we'll do the price level and put it on the low, and then we'll put the other price level on the low of this candle, and then we'll put this here. Now, I know that's a lot. I know that seems like a lot, but I'm about to help you. Out with this. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring the yellow part down. So we're going to edit the properties. The top of it was 216. So we're going to bring that down to 216.10, 216.37. So 216.10, click OK. And there we go. Now, here's the other thing we want to do. When these gaps change, like when they start getting filled, I want you to know what I'm doing. When they start getting filled, when those gaps start getting filled, I'm going to start shading them gray because I'm still going to see those as support or resistance with those gaps. So as it starts to get filled, it's going to go from yellow to the gray that we use. Okay. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up about that. That's what we're going to start doing with that. So let's extend this over. And I got your comment. I heard it. I'm going to pull it up in 1 second. Got it. And I don't want this to look too busy, so I'll remove this middle drawing, that price level at 8, okay? But we're using it like that. The gray part is the part of the gap that's been filled. The yellow is the gap that has not been filled yet. So as it fills, then we will turn that yellow to gray, but we're going to look at that gray as support and resistance. So right now, since the price is above it, that's going to be our support. I'm working on adjusting the chart, guys, and then I'm gonna pull this comment up. Thank you for being patient too, because I know I'm struggling with this. And then it was small to begin with. That was really small and tight. So here we go. Here we go with the chat. Let me pull this up, take that down. I've noticed JP Morgan runs up to earnings and drops off after earnings. Good observation. Good observation. And that's what I was thinking. And we looked at JP Morgan yesterday. So I started looking into Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citigroup. I said JP Morgan. And then we're looking at Morgan Stanley tonight. But I started looking into them. No, I don't have a Discord. And you're the second person that asked me that. Maybe I need to look into it and think about doing one. But I don't have a Discord. So let me take the chat thing off and go here. And then we was talking about the finances. So the reason I started looking at these specific financial companies was because of the video that I did that I had in the link. Let me pin it. Oh, can I do it from here? Nope. I can't do it from here. Let me pull me up on the screen. And I'm going to take my time with you. I'm going to take my time. I know this slows the show down a little bit, but hey, I appreciate the comments and let me know that people tuning in. And I got a new subscriber. Thank you so much. The new subscriber. We just got a new one. Let me go ahead and pull this up so you guys can see it. Here we go. So what I'm looking for, I want to pin that comment that I had made about the video at the top. So I'm about to do that right now. But yeah, in that video, I was looking over the 424B4 prospectus. I think that's what it's called. I talked about it in the video. So I just pinned it to the top. And in that video, I was talking about how the underwriters, the financial companies that are the underwriters for SpaceX. So they're the ones that bought all of the shares from Elon Musk, and then they're selling them out on the market. So I go into great detail about that in the video. It's a real interesting video to break that down. So that's when I started looking at those different financial companies. And when I pulled their charts up, they were all running up. So I would expect a pullback with that volume that comes in on earnings. Like you were saying, like after earnings, it seems like the price drop. They use that volume from earnings to sell and take their profits off the table from long positions. That's what I would expect to happen. But, you know, we can't make no promises in the market and things like that. We just got to do our best to get the odds in our favor and do our own research. But that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. All right. So where were we with this? Yeah, that's where we are with the technicals. And here's the 200-day simple moving average. We're still looking at the 10-year weekly chart. This is good, guys. And I'm going to put one more price level here. Let's zoom in. And I'm going to put one more level for support. As far as resistance, I'm going to say the high of this candle right here. Because we can see we got a few candles that responded to that price level of $222.30. And then I wanted to put one more as far as support. See, this is interesting. This looks like a zone to me too. Because we can include the wicks. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. Yep. So extend this over to the right. So we're going to take this to December 1st. And I hope I answered your question. December 1st. There we go. And then we're going to extend this over to the left. Edit properties. And then we took that out to 2024. January 1st. There we go. Got it. And then we do our price levels. That wick. And then that wick. And then we can zoom in, and then we can go ahead and wrap this up. We spent a lot of time on Morgan Stanley. We spent a lot on it. But those are the technicals I got, guys. That's what I'm seeing. And if that's bunched in, you're going to have to pause it. But I spaced it out so you can see it. Those are the price levels in there. So I'm going to put this back, and then we're going to go ahead and get the stock quote from Morgan Stanley. Put this back. No, we already got that there. And then we can talk about the volume, all right? So we'll go up here to the settings. Let me put the Ninja chat back so I won't miss these. All right. And then we go to floating data box and let's talk about it. So Morgan Stanley opened today at $220. They had a high of $220.91. They have a low of $216.10. And they closed today at $218.07, which is a trading range of $4.81. Now, when we look at the volume, they traded 4.1 million shares of this stock today. Okay. And it came down and tested that 9-day simple moving average. So let's take this floating data box off. And what we need to find out is what's the average trading volume for Morgan Stanley. So when we look over here, the average trading volume in a daily session is 6 million shares, guys. So today coming in with that 4.1 million is definitely below average. And then we can see that this candle right here had lower volume than average, coming in at 5.4 million. And this candle, even though it's red, ended up having a lower volume, coming in with lower volume with that 4.1. So we see the volume decreasing, excuse me, and both of those days volumes were below average. Sipping some water, put me back on the screen. Now let's talk about the volume rank percentile. Take those arrows off. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume, this candle right here, is only higher than 15.1% of those candles. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, 38 of those days are below today's volume. Okay. So we did it. We got it. We got through it. So let's move on. Let's move on. So let's go here. Let's go there. All right. Now, community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe. And if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. All right. So let's talk about the S&P 500 index. Okay, let's look at what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index. Now, let's go back to the charts. Here, and bam. Well, I'm getting better. All right, now let's put SPY in the symbol box, and here we go. All right, so the SPY has a 52-week low of $618.05, 52-week high of $720.40. And we're looking at a 1-year daily chart. That's why we got the 52-week low and all that other good stuff, but just forgot to say it. Wanted to make sure I made that clear. So here we go. Let's zoom in on the most recent price action, because we got a lot of stuff going on over here. I know those a lot of different levels, guys, but they're necessary because we can see that the SPY is trading in these ranges. It seems to be trending trending sideways. So when I draw this box, let's start back a little further. Here we go. Two acting up. Bear with me. Here we go. All right. So when I do this, we have a lot of those candles, wicks, and bodies in that range. It came out of it a few times. So let me draw that to highlight what I'm talking about in that aspect, which would be here. So it came out here, came out here, came out here, here, and a little bit right there, and then here. But the majority of the price action is inside that box. So drawing it that way, we can see what I'm talking about, at least a little bit better. So the mid part of that box, it closed above that today. The wick came down below the 9-day simple moving average. That's what we're looking at with that green line. And it opened right on it, and it closed above this area of resistance. So now that resistance at $744.44 is going to be support, guys. It's going to be support. And the next level of resistance, take the arrow off and all of that I'm seeing is $749.88. And we also know that that's a level of a psychological level of $750, okay? Because that's very close to that number. And as far as the 200-day simple moving average, guys, we are far away from it. It's down at $693.60. Okay. So those are the levels that I'm seeing with the SPY. So we can go ahead and move on and get the SPY quote. And we can put me back on the screen. I was off the screen for way too long. But there we go. So let's talk about it. The SPY opened today at $743.16. They had a high of $746.15, and they have a low of $739.51. And they closed today at $745.40, which is a trading range of $6.64. Now, when we look at the trading volume, guys, they traded 43.7 million shares of this ETF today. And it's something about this 43. I don't know what's going on with that, but let's go ahead and take this floating data box off and let's talk about this volume. Let's talk about it. So let's take me off the screen. The average trading volume in a daily trading session for the SPY, guys, is 73 million shares. And for the last 2 days, it's been trading at 43 million. This is the volume for today. This is the volume for yesterday. So the volume has been consistent with both of these candles, 43 million on both of those days. And it did find support again on that 9-day simple moving average, and it closed above that area of resistance at the $744.44. Okay. And here is the actual price level for that simple moving average. If you wanted to know what that number was, $742.89 is where the 9-day simple moving average is. All right. Now let's talk about the volume rank percentile. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was only higher than 7.9% of those 252 trading days volume, guys. That's extremely low. It was only higher than 20 of those trading days. I got the comment too. I heard it. I'm gonna pull it up in 1 second. So that's extremely low. And it's been like that for the last 2 days. So the volume on this ETF, on the SPY, is extremely low right now. Okay. So we got a comment. Let's pull this up. I see it. Okay. I want to pull it up when I say it. Stop reading it before I pull it up. Here we go. Take that down. Pull this up. That's the last one. Here's the new comment. Sinite Bella. I see a W pattern. Okay. I'm gonna do my best to draw it because I see a lot of W's up here. Let me draw. Let me see if I can do this to show what you're seeing. Ooh, that looked funny. That looked terrible. Let me use a different tool. Let me use a line. Let's use a line. Let's use this. Is this the W part you're talking about? Is that where you're seeing the W? I know it's a delay in the comment. In the chat, it's going to be a delay. So, yes. Okay, cool. So that's the W you're seeing. So this is what, and maybe you can help me with this. From my understanding of the market mechanics, the bid and the ask. So if we have more trades happening on the ask, then that will cause the stock price to increase because the ask is always going to get higher, right? But what confuses me about something that tracks an index like the SPY, for instance, it's mimicking whatever the index is doing. So I'm still kind of having a hard time trying to grasp that. But my concern right now is that there's not a lot of interest at these price levels. That's what I meant by like looking at the volume. Like for the last 2 days, this trading volume has been extremely low. So what my understanding of technicals is that price with high volume, like above average volume, behind a move shows conviction when you see the candle move in a direction. Okay, so what I mean by that, like this red candle right here, it could be a big red candle coming down, but if it's on low volume, that's not the same as a high volume candle coming down. That means that it's a lot of people that didn't agree on the price levels being higher than what it was, and it drove the price down. So over here, with the price being as close, like if we just focus on the bodies, this is a $5 price difference. So to me, that's noise, especially the fact that it's on low volume, if that makes sense. And I see your other comment. It says bullish if it holds up. And that's what I'm saying. Me personally, I wouldn't see that as bullish until I seen above average volume, if that makes sense. This is noise because it's not enough volume behind the price action right now. But I also explained at the beginning, if this is just tracking what the S&P 500 index does anyway, then it doesn't matter about the bid and ask. But with a regular company, I know that the bid and ask mechanics are, if the price is being traded, yes, I agree about the low volume. Okay, got it. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I appreciate the conversation, man. I'm telling you, I be wanting to have these conversations, and people, the people I'm around in my day-to-day life, my wife and my friends, they not even really interested in the stock market and stuff like that. So honestly, I don't even be having nobody to talk to with these ideas and stuff that I have in my head. And this stuff excites me. I love doing this. This I love it. It's a thrill, and it's always a opportunity to learn, and it's always an opportunity to grow. You learn a lot about not just the markets, but a lot about yourself. You need patience. You need determination. You need will. You need to have the ability to learn and things like that. Here's your next comment. Earnings will tell us which way we will go. Yeah, and I used to think that until I realized that sometimes even with great earnings, And you could just be talking about what happens with the price direction after the earnings come out. That's what you could be saying. But I'm saying it from the aspect of like when people look at earnings and just determine if the earnings are positive or negative. So if the earnings were positive and then the stock price drops, you'll have people that's confused and they like, well, I don't understand why the stock price went down, because the earnings were great. They beat on this line, they beat on the top line, the bottom line. This was great. They got growth. The guidance was strong. But then I learned that institutions take that high volume as an opportunity to close and sell into that volume, to take profits off the table. So the fact of it being strong earnings, sometimes they could use that as an opportunity to sell, to get out, and then we'll see it gap down or stock price drop or something like that, even with strong earnings. So I keep an eye on that. And then sometimes you can have so-so earnings or poor earnings and the stock still gaps up. But that can happen because the stock was oversold in the first place. So then when they come out with earnings, people look at it with a fresh eye. They start looking at the financials and like, the financials is not impressive, but compared to where the price is trading at right now, it's still a value. It's still a bargain. So then it ends up gapping up with so-so or shooting up with so-so earnings. So it's a nuance. It's nuances to it. So where were we at? We're looking at the SPY. We talked about the volume. Yeah, so we can wrap it up. We can move on with that. And thank you so much for the comment and the conversation. So let's put this back. Let's go here. Let's go there. All right. And we talked about that. Go here. Take that off. All right, cool. Let's talk. Sure. All right. This is my favorite part of the show. Sector rotation tracker. Time to follow the money. All right, let's follow this money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how they perform today. All right, so let's go back to the charts and let's pull up my sector rotation tracker tool. Now, yesterday, guys, I made a mistake. I forgot to put this on the screen. So let me do that now before I forget. So there's the right ticker for it. S&P 500 sector performance. Absolutely. That's the right one. All right. So let's go to this tool, rotation tracker. Bam. Now I know this is some noise. So if this is your first time seeing this, bear with me. We're going to break it down. And I'm going to pull up my workbook. Here we go. So my spreadsheet from yesterday. So we started using this yesterday. So here's Monday's gainers, losers, and all that other good stuff. Monday, Tuesday, and then we're looking at the SPX as the baseline. So let's go ahead and go through it. We're looking at the sectors and the S&P 500 index performance for today. Okay, one day. So the SPX is down 0.3%. Energy is up 1.8%. Materials are down 2.6%. Industrials are down 1.1%. Consumer discretionary is down 1.8%. Consumer staples is down 0.6%. Healthcare is down 1.3%. Financials are down 1.9%. Technology is up 1.2%. Communication services are down 1.7%. Utilities are down 0.7%. And real estate is down 1.7%. That's a lot of downs. That's a lot of downs. All right. So here's the little thing I did to make it where this will be easy to track down, so we don't have to go through all of that again to try to read it. Let me collapse these. So right here in this watch list, guys, we're going to put this in ascending order. So here is, we can use this right here, 0.3. I'm gonna put this in this list. Let me pull this down. Let me put SPX, so we'll have it in this list. SPX is saying down. Now that's the net change. Okay, that's not what we need. So let me go here in the settings, customize. We're gonna add the percentage change. That's what we need. So let's add that percentage change, drag it up. I'm going to put it right behind the description. Click OK. All right. So we have the percentage change. And then we have an exact number. So let's start filling this out. So SPX and that is down SPX 0.28%. 0.28%. Bam. All right. Now, the biggest gainer for today was energy. Yep. So we got XLE, and they were up 1.76%. Got it. All right. And then the next one we have is information technology. So XLK, and they were up 1.24%. And then the third one is actually XLP. So XLP is consumer staples, and they were actually down, but they were the least amount that was down out of every sector. So that's going to be negative 0.55. Wait a minute. That's a mess. Negative 0.55. Here we go. So they down 0.6%. And now we actually do the biggest losers. So we got XLB, that's materials, and they were down 2.62%. Then we got financials, XLF, and they were down 1.93%. And then we got XLY, consumer discretionary, and they were down 1.78%. Okay, guys. Now, we got that. Now I want to look at information technology specifically, and then we'll put this on both. So when we do that, I'm keeping an eye on information technology and energy. And then with this news that popped out that we talked about earlier, or I mentioned earlier about the Strait of Hormuz and the conflict in oil, information technology had took back what it had gained on Monday. So we can see that. On Monday, it was up 1.7%. Tuesday, it went down 2.4%. And then today it gained back 1.2. So it's kind of flat. We're looking at like 3%. So it's 0.6%, something like that. Just roughly estimating. We're looking at what came in and what went out. And then let's look at energy. So we look at energy. So energy from when it showed up in the list. Now we got to keep that in mind. We don't see it on the list because we just put the biggest gainers and the biggest losers, the top three and the bottom three, on Monday. So we don't see all of them, but it was the top one. That's the strongest performing sector the last 2 days. But that's expected based off the news and the spike in oil prices. Okay. But we can break these down and look at different ones. And then we have a lot of earnings with financials. So it took back more than what it gave on Monday. So it was the second gainer on Monday, and it was the second loser on Wednesday. Earnings maybe. I'm about to pull a comment up. I just got it. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, guys. I'm just keeping an eye on those specific sectors: information technology, energy, financials, and then we'll talk about some sectors again when we look at the biggest winner and losers for today, because it was very interesting in the market today. Very interesting. Let's get this comment from Sinite. I hope I'm pronouncing it. I know you said tonight. Sinite Bella. So let's pull this up. Go here. Chat. Take that down. Then go here. Here's the comment. Earnings might be great, but future guidance usually will tell us which way the market will go. Very solid points you made. Thank you. Okay, yeah. And that's something else I'm learning too. And to me, guidance is funny, man. Guidance is just weird to me. It's like, so if the company talks about what they plan on doing, that gets people optimistic too, and it could potentially drive the price up for the stock ahead of whatever they said they was going to do. Or if they're guidance is so-so or poor, then that could scare people away from the stock. It's so, the fact that a lot of decisions are so emotional driven about how optimistic or pessimistic some people feel about an actual investment could drive prices up and down is just crazy to me. But you absolutely right. Somebody could say something fantastic in guidance and ain't made a dime off of it yet, but just because they said it and said what they potentially can make based off the ideas, people jump to run and buy it is crazy. But thank you. Appreciate the comments and your thoughts. So yeah, let me see where we at now. Yep. Okay. So we can go here now. We got that. We looked at that. So we can take this down, go here. All right. Now let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. So let me go back to pro market closed, and we're going to go back to the charts and put this back on the screen. All right. And what we're going to do here, we're going to go over to the Market Watch tab. And we're going to go to the quotes sub tab. And we already have the S&P 500 index pulled up. We just need to put it in descending order. There we go. So, guys, the biggest loser for today is ticker SYF, Synchrony Financial. They lost 9.61% today. Their previous close was $75.52, and today they closed at $68.26. All right, let me select that. Let me highlight that company. Now, let's do a hypothetical. Pull up the calculator. And let's say somebody invested $6,500. Let's say that. Somebody invested $6,500. They lost that 9.61%. So we negate that, turn it to a percentage. They would have lost $624.65. We add the initial principal back to it, the $6,500. So the investment, what they would have left is $5,875.35. All right, so we got that. Clear this off the screen. Let's go over to the Analyze tab, and we can see that Synchrony Financial is in the financials sector, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to look and see how that sector performed today, the industry that that company is inside of performed, and the sub-industry. We're going to check to see how that performed. So let's go ahead and go up here to the Market Watch tab, and then we're going to go to the Visualize sub tab. Now let's go to the S&P 500 index on the heat map. Let me take me off the screen. We do have all of the other stuff where it needs to be. Okay, so let's look for the financial sector. Here it is right here, guys. That's a lot of red, okay? And we can pull this tool back up real quick. So we already looked and expected this because today financials came in as the second biggest loser as far as sectors in the S&P 500 index, being down 1.9%. And then we also have that list over here where we can read it just as a reminder. XLF is the financials, and there is the information, okay? So we can reference our notes. Now we want to look to see what industry that company is in, Synchrony Financial. What industry is it in? Guys, if they have a small market cap, I found it. They are in the consumer finance industry, and that whole industry did bad today. Red. So we can see that over here on the left. Consumer finance is the industry and the sub industry. You have American Express, AXP, and then Capital One, COF in that same industry. Okay. So let's go back to the Analyze tab. And before we visit their website, here's the company name. Here's their website. Links to the websites featured in tonight's show are down in the description. Let's read a little bit about the company, and then we'll go visit their website. Synchrony Financial, together with its subsidiaries, operates as a consumer financial services company in the United States. All right, we did some research and we got this website to look at, so we're not going to go too crazy because we're going to learn what we need to learn by looking at the website and from some other research. So let's zoom in to 150%. Put me back on the screen. Take that off. We're good. We good. All right, so Synchrony, looking at the top to see where we might go. So about us, guys, that's it. Right there at about us. This is everywhere we need to go, as well as the careers and investors. So let's browse over the home page real quick to see what we can see, and then we'll start going to those other locations. So they're talking about some of the things they've been recognized for. Number one, best place to work. Credit cards and financing, banking, marketplace, browse financing options from hundreds of names you know and love. View all brands. So you got a lot of different stuff you can dig through on your own time. I don't want to slow down the show tonight, but yeah, they got a lot of different stuff on this homepage. So invest in you with Synchrony Bank. Care Credit, a Synchrony solution. Healthcare financing for you, your family, and your pets. You got to insure your dog and your cats. Man, pet insurance. Hey, people love their pets. Some people treat their pets better than their kids, man. All right, so we got about us right here, careers and investors. This looks a little bit more clean cut. They probably take you to the same place, but let's go ahead and go to about us. We browsed over the home page. I just clicked it, waiting on it to load. All right, let's see where they got us zoomed in at. We're at 150%. Get more with Synchrony, experience and solutions you can trust. Who we are, awards and recognition, innovation, citizenship and reports. Okay, it's right here. Who we are. We move businesses and customers in one direction, forward. That's what they say. Synchrony by the numbers. So here are some stats about the company. Hey, you know I like it when they do this. They made it real easy. Our vision, mission, and values. And I said this is what we be looking for. So we're proud to say we've built a culture that stands for strong values and a shared vision and mission. It's a core part of our DNA and a bold declaration of our commitment to do the right thing for our partners, for our customers, and for our team members. Our vision is to build a future where every ambition is within reach. And we work towards that each day by creating financial and technology solutions to move our customers and partners forward. We consider this our mission. Our values mark our past, inform our actions every day, and inspire our future. Got it. So here's some awards and recognitions, how we innovate, corporate citizenship, Synchrony reports. Got it. So now we're going to go to careers, and we are looking for the benefits. We want to know how well they take care of their employees. Oh, I hate these little cookie things and track. Oh, I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Oh, anyway. All right. So they talk about culture and things like that. We're looking for the benefits. Let's speed up a little bit, see what we can find. Guys, we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom. Now, I know okay, see all jobs. Guys, this is concerning. This part right here, alert, beware of false job scams. I know scams and fraud and identity theft is a thing, but man, scamming jobs, this is so common. I'm thinking it's extremely common, more than we think, because this is actually on a lot of these websites when we go visit them. So let's go to see all jobs and see if they mention the benefits over here. Nope. More about us, about our culture. Yeah, guys. Again, we 0 for 2. When it comes to finding the benefits. I think we did stumble on the benefits earlier on Morgan's on somebody we looked at. I think we stumbled across it, but I know we ain't stumbled across the benefits on here. I'm gonna have to figure that out. All right, let's move on to investor relations. This is actually a separate website, so we can exit out of this and go back to where we were. So here we go, investor relations. You can't see it because I'm on the screen. Here we go, right here, investors. Blow this up, zoom in, and all we're looking for is the charts, and then we can go to the technical analysis, guys. We almost there. Synchrony Financial. So overview, look at the cookies again. Oh my gosh. Let's say no, disable. Oh gosh. All right. Keep scrolling. Company info, finance, stock info. This is where we're going to go. So let me just scroll. Let's see what's on here. Remember, links to these websites are down in the description for your convenience. This is a long scroll. Oh, All right. So we're down at the bottom. There we go. Stock info, stock quote. Do you want to load external content supply? Yep. So they told on it. I was talking about how I thought they outsourced this stock information. So they actually asking for permission before they load it up. So QMod Stock Tools, that could be that company. But whatever it is, sometimes it's delayed on these websites. But this one popped right up. So here's the chart they have available. Here's the stock quote. Are we zoomed all the way in? Yeah, we're good. It just looks small. There we go. And they have other, yeah, that's it. And some historical data. So let's go ahead and go over here and talk about what I found out about the company and the research when we did all of that, when I did that. All right, move on. Biggest loser. All right. Synchrony Financial, ticker SYF. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage consumer financing programs across the digital, retail, and healthcare markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete private label options, including store credit cards and co-branded MasterCards for retail partners. Number two, scalable promotional credit products, including financing programs, installment loans, and promotional rates for retail partners. And number three, optimized medical financing systems tailored for healthcare providers, dental practices, and veterinary clinics. All right. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Amazon, ticker AMZN, Lowe's, ticker LOW, and Verizon, ticker VZ. All right. Now let's go to the charts and get some technical analysis in. Here we go. Take that. All right. Now let's go to the charts. Woo! I don't know why I got that price level there, but it closed below it. And we looking at, that's the 10-year weekly chart. We like to start off here. Okay. So I was looking at this company, but I don't remember when I was looking at it. And what's strange about it, I only got one level on here. So I don't know, but we're going to figure it out. So anyway, we're looking at a 1-year daily chart for Synchrony. They have a 52-week high of $88.77 and a 52-week low of $63.08. All right. So we're going to clear that off or out, and then we're going to go to the 10-year weekly chart. Now that we're here, will take me off the screen. Here is their 10-year low of $12.15, their 10-year high of $88.77, which is also the 52-week high. Okay, so that's what we have there. It is currently trading above the 200-week simple moving average, and remember that the green dash line is the 9-week simple moving average based off of the bars we're looking at right now. These are weekly bars. So with this price level being here, ooh, yeah, guys. So on the weekly chart, I'm gonna zoom in and put me back on the screen. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing support at this price level here. We can see that it responded to that price level over here on these weeks as well. So that's $63.81. And if we come down a little further, I'm seeing that as support as well at $56.74. And then, of course, I also would like to see this, not would like to see, but I see this 200-week simple moving average as support as well. So that's what I'm seeing on the weekly as support. So let's get some of the resistance taken care of. I'm seeing resistance here at $79. That's also a psychological level because it's real close to 80. But then you see a lot of action over here, guys. So you know what would make me feel better about that price area and level is to do that as a zone. So we're going to connect to the high of that week into the high of this week. And then we're going to put a price level here using the high of that week. And then we're going to extend this over to December 1st. Let's go to December 1st there. And then we're going to go back a little bit. So we open up that calendar and go to January 1st. And that way it'll touch those weekly candles. And then I'll zoom in so you can see that's not what we want. Take that off. Go here. We want to zoom in. All right. So we can see how the wicks on these weeks touch that resistance zone. These candles went inside of it and the wicks peaked out of it. And then this week right here closed, like it opened and closed above that zone. And then these wicks tested it and peaked out of it on those weeks. Now, on this week chart that we're looking at, we also have a gap. So let's identify that, and then we can go ahead and go down to our daily chart, to our 1 year daily chart. So let's extend this over to December 1st really quick, and let's go ahead and move on. December 1st, there we go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sticking through. I appreciate you. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I definitely would appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, so there we go with our levels on the 10-year weekly chart. I'm going to expand this a little bit, bring it down so you can see it. But that's what I'm seeing as far as the technicals. All right. Feast your eyes on that. And now we can go ahead and go to the 1 year daily chart. So here we are, guys. That gap is even bigger than I thought because it's from this day all the way down. So that was the week. Wait a minute. Where are we at? Why didn't it go all the way up there? What day of, I don't know what day of the week that was. Let me see. So this at the beginning of the year. It doesn't tell us the day of the week. Does it do it with this? We use the floating data box. Does it say a day of the week, or does it just says the date? Well, anyway, let's peek back so you can see what I'm saying. Take the floating data box off. And now we're looking at the weekly chart. See, there's actually a gap here when we're looking at the weekly candles. So the open of the week and the close of the week, we have a gap here. But then when we go over to the daily chart, we can see that we have an even wider gap. Okay, so let's zoom in and extend that gap. I do like that price level there at $84.60 because we see that it was responding to it over here on these days. Okay. And it looks like it could be a zone as well. It's a lot going on at that price level. So the gap, let's fix that now. So the low of that candle, we don't even have to do that. Let's just snap a price level here. Bam. $86.56. So we go in here. $86.56. 86.56. There we go. Click OK. And now we extended that gap. So it's easier to see. Zoom out. So we have our gap there, but our price action is right here. And we have a recent gap, guys. So our recent gap is between Tuesday and today, right here. So we're going to identify this gap right here using the rectangle tool, that high, that low. And you already know, yellow didn't mean to rhyme, but bars. We did that. All right, so go over there, December 1st. There we go. Expand this out a little bit. Drag this down. Space that out a little. All right. Price levels. Bam. On that high of this candle and on the low of that candle. There we go. That's a big red candle. All right, so let's talk about some technicals. Let's talk about some technicals. Woo. Guys, this is actually going to be a really good lesson right here. This is a really good lesson. So here's the thing, and I'm all out the doggone camera. Here's the thing. When you have a large green candle or a large red candle, we can use the Fibonacci retracement tool and focus on the body of the candle. So we're going to attach that to the top of the body and the bottom of the body. And it tells us the midpoint of that candle. The midpoint of that candle is 71.44. Okay. 71.44. So we go to edit properties, 71.44. Click OK. And then we're going to remove the Fibonacci tool. Now you notice, you see how, man, this is this is cold. This is cold. I'm excited. Let me take me off the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. We didn't even come over here and look at those other price levels. All we did was identify the midpoint of this red candle, right? And that was $71.44. But now when we go to the left, look at how many candles actually responding to that price level. Look at how perfectly they responded to that price level. And we didn't even go over there. We used the midpoint of this body of that candle and seen how it responded to those levels. So in technical analysis, if you're not familiar with it or you're a beginner, you know, everybody watching could be on a different level. Large candles, the midpoint of those candles can act as support or resistance. So because on a red candle, the close is down here, the midpoint of this body is going to act as resistance. That's why we put that price level there. Also, it's below the 200-day simple moving average, and it's below the 9-day simple moving average. So it looks like it's in no man's land, but when you look at these wicks, it looks like they kind of found support at some type of area over there, but it looks like it's just in no man's land right now from where it closed at today. Okay. So if you put a price level there, you can see that you do have some wicks that tested that level at $68.36. Okay. And looking over to your left, you could use these candles down here to get another level before 63.81, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But for you, I will, just in case you wanted to see. I would do it here. I would put it there. That way I at least got two candles that touch that price point, and that would put us at 65.52. All right. And put me on the screen. So we got our technicals done, and we can go ahead and pull up our floating data box so we can get the quote for Synchrony. So Synchrony opened today at $74.62. They had a high of $74.81. They had a low of $68.05, and it closed today at $68.26, which is a trading range of $6.76. Now, when we come down and look at the volume, they traded 9.4 million shares of this stock today. So we're going to cut off the floating data box. Going to take me off the screen, and we're going to look and see what the average trading volume is for Synchrony. The average trading volume in a day, guys, is 3.7 million, and they did 9.4. I don't know why I want to say 8 so bad. 9.4 million. So they definitely had an above average volume in this sizable candle, which is something we talked about earlier when we were covering the SPY. It above average volume with a directional move shows conviction. There was a lot of selling where people believed that the price should have been lower. And that's justified, or at least confirmed, by the amount of volume, because it was more than average participating that pushed that price down. Okay. Now, this red candle before the gap had below average volume coming in at 2.7 million. All right. Now, how extreme is the volume on today's candle? This is how extreme it is, guys. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, it's higher than 99.2% of those candles. Specifically, only 2 of those days had higher volume than today. That's what we got. All right. So we good. We are good on Synchrony. So let's go ahead and move on. We took everything off the charts. Yes. So let's go ahead and go over here to the Market Watch tab. Let's start condensing this. This is going to be interesting, guys, what we're about to cover right now. So let's go to the quotes, put this in ascending order, and now we can change it. We are looking at the biggest gainer for today. So the biggest gainer for today is ticker AKAM, Akamai Technologies Incorporated, guys. Oh, yeah. And they went up 10.67%. The previous close was $114.37, and they closed today at $126.57. Okay, so let's do a hypothetical. We were using 6,500, so let's go ahead and do that. 6,500. Somebody invests $6,500, and they get that 10.67% gain. they would have gained $693.55 added back to the $6,500 principal. Total investment would have grown to $7,193.55. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, clear that out. Now we're going to highlight this and we're going to go over to the Analyze tab, and we can see that Akamai, ticker AKAM, is in the information technology sector. So we're going to look at that sector. We're going to look at the industry that they're inside of and the sub industry that they're inside of. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the Market Watch tab, go to the Visualize tab, and take me off the screen. And here we go. Information technology. Bam. We're looking for Akamai, AKAM. I don't see it in here. Is it in here? Nope. Is it in here? It's hard. I see it. It's in IT services. So it's in the information technology sector. It's in the IT services industry. And it's in the internet services and infrastructure sub industry. So GoDaddy is red. VeriSign was up barely. And Akamai was the biggest gainer, coming in at 10.67%. So let's start backing out one level at a time. So here's IT services. So IT services, that in particular industry, didn't do well today. You only got 2 green companies, and VeriSign was barely green. Okay. So when we look at the information technology sector, the biggest industry greenest, or the biggest gainers, happen to be inside of the semiconductors and semiconductor equipment, as well as the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals industries. Okay, so that's what we're seeing. And communications equipment looked like it did well. All right, so let's go back to the Analyze tab. And before we visit Akamai's website, Akamai Technologies Incorporated, here's a link to their website. Let's read the company and go read a little bit about the company and go to the website. Akamai Technologies Incorporated engages in the provision of security, delivery, and cloud computing solutions in the United States and internationally. Got it. Now let's go to their website. Now I'm gonna have to actually use this link. So let's close that out. We're good. Here goes some cookies. Close that out. Put me on the screen. Take that off. Bam. We're going to move a little bit faster, guys, because we did pretty good. It ain't a 2-hour show, but I want to finish before 1 o'clock. So let's go ahead and hurry up and get this done. Looking up at the top, I don't see anything we need to click on. So let's scroll over this. How to master agentic AI. Start here. Akamai Cloud, Akamai Security. Akamai acquires Layer X, bringing AI usage control to any browser. Got it, got it, got it. What's new? Everywhere you do business, Akamai is there. Got it. Cloud computing, security, content delivery. Got it. All right, down here at the bottom, guys, we're going to go to About Us. We're going to go to Careers, and we're going to go to Investor Relations. So let's go to About Us, get that started. Put me back on the screen. About Akamai. Did they zoom us out? No, we're good. We make life better for billions of people, trillions of times a day. Learn how we power and protect life online. They have a video here. Remember, link is in the description. Links are in the description for you to check that out. Akamai corporate headquarters. Got it. Here are some stats about the company. Globally, Akamai is trusted by. They have some data there. Meet Akamai's leaders. They talk about leadership, awards, and accolades. Opportunities are waiting for you. So I think this is the part, careers. Yep, absolutely. View careers. That's where we're going next. And we're at the bottom, so let's go ahead and go to careers. So careers, join our team driving innovative, collaborative solutions to the world's toughest challenges. Join our global team making the impossible possible. Our culture by the numbers. All right, so they have over 11,000 employees worldwide. They have other stats there as well. Customer first, giving back and inclusion, innovation, integrity, and trust. One Akamai, urgency and persistence. Featured roles. So those are different departments. Name top place to work. How many top places or best places to work are there? You notice how that's, we seen that on more than one company, but one is said best place to work, and now this one says top place to work. I think sometimes these awards are gimmicks because of how they word it. Like, everybody can't be the best in the same way. I mean, in the same year, like you only get, it's only one number one. You know what I mean? All right, so I don't see anything about the benefits again. What's going on? Look. Maybe we got to click on something. Words, value, team, employees. That's not clickable. None of that is clickable. Early careers, view benefits. Look, read the screen, man. View benefits. There we go. Here we go. Global benefits, health and wellness, mental health support, family building benefits, financial support programs, flex-based legal support programs, wellness days, volunteering days, mobility and power flexibility. Now, just off the top of my head, something that popped in my head from what we've been viewing on these websites. I think this is the second one I've seen recently where one of the benefits was legal support programs. I think that's dope. All right, country-specific benefits. We're not going to go into all of that, but of course, wherever you are, you would click on that and then look at the benefits they offer, okay? Finish scrolling this page, and then we're going to go to investor relations, and it's right here. Can you see it? No. So here we go, investor relations. Bam. Now, here is the stock information. I'm going to scroll over the page, and we're going to click on that. Oh, that was a short scroll. Thank gosh. Quotes and charts put me back on the screen. Here's the stock information, and here it is. Here's an example. You see how the chart didn't load up, so I'm going to talk to you, chat to you, and let you know that this is a common thing. And then when we looked at the company before, which was Synchrony Financial, I believe, they asked us, did we want them to be able to use a third-party source or whatever to upload the chart data so we could see it on their website. But I was assuming that whoever that company was also being used by the other website companies, but that one actually came up quick after we pressed yes, and this one needed time to load. So there is the chart, guys. So let's go ahead and talk about what I found in my research. So we're going to go here and go here, and let's go ahead and talk about it. So Akamai Technologies Incorporated, ticker AKAM, when it comes to their goods and services, they manage digital infrastructure programs across the cloud computing, cybersecurity, and content delivery markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete edge defense options, including web application protection and distributed denial of service mitigation for enterprise networks. Two, scalable content delivery products, including media distribution, application load balancing, and API performance acceleration for global businesses. And number three, optimized cloud compute systems tailored for app development, scalable database storage, and AI inference workloads. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Microsoft, ticker MSFT, Apple, ticker AAPL, and Netflix, ticker NFLX. All right. So, cool thing about this ain't the first time Akamai came up on the live stream. So we have a lot of this done already. So I'm going to refresh you on what's going on. So we're looking at a 1 year daily chart. They have a 52-week low of $69.78. 52-week high of $165.45. Let's go ahead and peek at the 10-year weekly chart. Here is 2016. Here is their 10-year low of $44.65, 10-year high of $165.45, which is also the 52-week high. All right. Now, I want to talk about the consolidation over here on the 1 year daily chart. So this is consolidation here, and this was a little bit wider, but here, okay? It took a while for it to slope up to the top of this consolidation zone. So this looked like a pullback before it took off. But the idea was after this period of time of just trending sideways, it broke to the upside. And then it started trending sideways again. So you had to be really patient. And then it trended to the upside. Did a pullback, and then that boy took off. You hear me? It just took off. Bam. All right, put me back on the screen. And then it did some funny stuff here. Did a pullback. Came back and tested those highs at $165.45. Couldn't make it. Fell down. Filled that gap. Found an area of support down here. Now I'm just drawing on the chart. We're going to have to redo this. And then after finding that support, it came back, closed above that area of support at $117.48. And now it fell just shy of this next level of resistance we have on the chart at $128.62. And we have a comment. We have a comment. I'm about to pull you on the screen right now. As soon as I find my buttons. Here we go. Chat. Click this. I got you. I got you. Give me 1 second. Chat. What was this? I wasn't supposed to do that. Here we go. I want to say your name. I'm going to say NLMJ. So NLMJ says they have really good financials. That's good to know. Can you be specific? Let me know. And you said a double top. Got you. So you talking about the technical? Absolutely. Yeah. Now, when you say double top, so here's my understanding of it, not saying that you're wrong, but usually the term, from my understanding of it, double top is when the bars are next to each other. So I do know you got a high here. You got a high here, and they're both testing that area of support twice. But yeah, I think that the double top, and I could be wrong, is when the bars are right next to each other to be a double bottom or a double top, the closer they are together or that they're close to each other. So I don't know if you're referring to these two candles or these two candles. This one, let me use an arrow. This one and this one. But yes, it tested, regardless, it tested the top, those highs twice. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then it found support down here. And you said they have really good financials. So what is it about their financials that's good specifically? Not really. It's a double top. Okay, cool. Got you. Gotcha. Appreciate the comment. Let me know about the financials. I'm curious. Curious. What do you see in there that stands out to you? Where is that tool? Okay, so let's move this over. I wonder what the volume is like on that candle right there. But yeah, we already have our technicals here. And it filled that gap. So we can remove that gap, guys. We can remove that. That's been filled. It came all the way through there and filled that up. So we can remove that. So there are levels. It came short, just shy of that price level at $128.62. 62 cents. There we go. So yeah, and it was able to get above this 9-day simple moving average, and it's been trading below that for a while. So let's use this trend line tool so we can see how many days those are. So here's the first day it closed below that line. So we're going to connect that one. Keep coming down, keep coming down, keep coming down. And these are still below it. This is the first day it closed above it. Look how strong it closed above it once it got above it. That's crazy. How many days is that? 32 days. So it took 22 trading sessions. So 22 trading sessions, but the time period was just over a month, 32 days. It was trading below, well, 31 of those days, it was trading below the 9-day simple moving average. Today, it closed above it. And that pattern is also a bullish engulfing pattern because the body of this green candle totally engulfed the body of the previous candle. And it's a close above the high day. It's a close above the high of the low day. If we're looking at this candle right here, the close on this red candle fell shy of it, but this candle gave a few bullish technicals. It closed above the 9-day simple moving average. It closed above this area of resistance. It closed above the high of the low day. So that would be the CAHOLD, CAHOLD. And then you have a bullish engulfing pattern. Let's just put engulfing pat because I ain't give myself enough room. Can we drag it? Yeah, engulfing pattern. Engulfing pattern. Can we select that? Nope, don't look like we can select it after we do that. and I deleted everything. Let's just do it again. Cajole and engulfing pattern. There we go. All right. So we got a few signals down there. Now we just need to look at some volume for confirmation, or at least to see what type of move we have behind it. Another comment. Thank you. Thank you. Got another comment. Let's pull that up. Let's pull that up. All right. Got you. I know you can pronounce that. I'm trying to pronounce it. EBITDA. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but that's why I was froze up. I'm trying to read that part. 4.25%. Gross margin is 58%. FCF is 52%. Operating cash is really great too. Okay, good, good. I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna pull that up. I heard that phrase before. Help me out. Help me out. Help me out, man. Help me out with that phrase. Earnings before. I know that's tax. Yeah, I'm just trying to pronounce it. EBITDA. Right. EBITDA. 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 Let me look that up. Let me look it up. That's one of them long acronyms that they use. So let me pull me up on the screen. I want to pull this up. Gotcha. Got it. And thank you for the comment. I'm still learning and growing myself. We gonna get it. Exactly. Got it. Okay. Got it. So this will help everybody out. Let's pull this up because some people might not know this either. All right. So here we go. Thank you so much because you helping the community. Let's pull this up. Bam. Take me off the screen. Okay. So here we go. EBITDA stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. What it represents, it is a metric used to evaluate a company's core operating performance by stripping out financial costs, interest, government obligations, taxes, and non-cash accounting expenses, depreciation, and amortization. Got it. Got it. Okay, we got it. EBITDA. That's what I was struggling with. EBITDA. Trying to remember how to pronounce it. Thank you so much. Exactly. Got it. Okay, let's pull the charts back up. We're almost done. We got a lot of comments and people tuning in, man. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Really do. All right, so we got enough levels on here. So if it gets back below this area right here, wait a minute. We got a lot going on. Let's remove that. Remove that drawing. I'm seeing this as a brief consolidation range, guys. Like right here with the bodies of those candles, and then it broke out to the upside. Okay. I'm seeing this as brief consolidation because it found like a bottom. You see how it was trending down, then it kind of consolidated, and now it's giving us all these bullish signals. We're going to look at the volume. We're going to factor that in. And then if it comes down, if it doesn't hold this consolidation zone, I would look for support at the $101.43, which is the 200-day simple moving average. Another comment from NLMJ. It's a way to show how strong the company is. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate the comment. Cool. All right, let's put this back up on the screen for the Gain and Company. Awesome. Okay, so let's get the stock quote and then we'll talk about the volume. Thank you guys so much for the comments and sharing this information tonight. Let's get this. Settings, data box, floating, apply. Okay, so AKAM. opened today at $113.78. They had a high of $127.35. They had a low of $113.78, and they closed today at $126.57, which was a trading range of $13.57. And the volume today was 7 million shares of this stock was traded today. So with that big green candle, we need to figure out if that's above average. Is that normal? What's going on with this volume? So let's take some of these drawings off, take me off the screen, and let's look at that. So over here, when we get to the volume, the average trading volume for Akamai, guys, is 3.6 million in a daily trading session. So the 7 million is definitely above average. And this red candle right here was slightly above average, coming in at 4 million shares on Tuesday. So that was yesterday. It's after 12, but you get it. Tuesday. All right, now put me back on the screen and let's talk about the volume rank percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was higher than 92.5% of those candles. Only 19 of the 252 candles were higher, had higher volume than today. Okay. Woo. We did that, guys. We got it. We got it. We covered the volume. We did the technicals. Yeah, we're good. We are good. Well, one of the ways you have to dig a little deeper. Got another comment. I did not see it. I didn't hear it and I didn't see you. So I got it. About to pull your comment up. Thanks again. Let me get it. Let me get it. And we can go here too. And we can take that off. Here's the comment from LMJ. Well, one of the ways you have to dig a little deeper. Absolutely. We have to look at the financials, and there's no limit to learning. We got to keep learning. We got to keep learning. We got to keep learning. So I'm glad you brought that up. EBITDA. Yep. So I'm going to research that and look at that and look at the financials either tomorrow. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow because I got a lot of stuff to do tonight when we finish the stream. And I'm taking some options courses on the CBOE website. So I don't know if you've seen that when I talked about that as well. The questions is, why is the volume so high today? Let's check to see if they have some earnings coming up. Nah, it's a while. It seemed like it's 21 trading days until earnings. We can look to check to see if it's some headlines. So let's go back to the charts real quick. We got time. We got time. We'll finish the show in a couple minutes. So if we come over here and we reduce that, live news on Akamai, review and preview, and this doesn't mean that they actually gonna have an answer in there, but this is where I would look real quick, and it is dated for yesterday. So review and preview energy shine. So if we click on this, what are they talking about? What did they say? What are they saying? And I've never tried to do this before, and I don't know. This is a long article too, man. I don't want to read all this. I want to see if there's a way. Control F. Will it let me search? Nah, it won't let me search it. Want to see if it'll let me search for this ticker in this long report. I see something about SpaceX. I'm gonna browse over it real quick and see if I can see anything on this one, or we'll just click a different one. Akamai. And then with them being the leader today, you would definitely expect them to show up in the news since they were the biggest gainer in the S&P 500. Okay, let's click another one. So here's where they talk about it over here. And of course they moved this. So let's expand this and see what it says. This might just be explaining, like just mentioning the move. This article, shares of Akamai Technology Incorporated jumped 10.7% to its $126.57 on what proved to be an all-around grim trading session for the stock market, with the S&P 500 index falling 0.3%. This was the stock's second consecutive day of gains. Akamai Technologies, yeah, they just talking about the stock, the way it moved. They're not actually telling us what was the reason behind the move, like you mentioned. Yeah, I hate when they do stuff like that. But yeah, I'm curious to know too. Okay, here it is. Here's some type of news that is attempting to explain it. Akamai Technology shares are trading higher after the company announced that it was selected as a partner for Worldwide Technologies AI readiness model for operational resilience. That's what we got. As far as what the news is saying over here on Thinkorswim platform, I can tell that it's also in a value zone if you pull up a volume profile. Yes. And I'm not sure if somebody had mentioned that to me before, but yeah. So let's see. Go to studies. I'll go over here. Volume profile. Add selected. Can we add this to the actual price part? Yes. Okay, so we did that. And click apply. Yes. Yep, I'm familiar with it. So what price level? Like, help me out, because I don't use this tool. I'm familiar with it, like I've heard of it. But what would you be looking at? Like the amount of volume that you're seeing at certain price levels? Help me out. And then why is it all the way over there? Like, can I move it? Let me see if I go up here to settings. Profiles 1000, multiplier 1, time per profile. You got chart. So it's doing whatever it's trying. Yeah, I would have to do some research to learn how to use this. And then I think we can change like the colors down here. Yeah, I had to do some research and learn how to use it and all that other good stuff. Let me see what you got. What you said. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So the point of control is that middle, and you can't move it. So when you say the point of control, you're talking about this red area right here? Yeah, if I spread it out, we can see a lot more. That's the only thing that's like standing out to me that looks different, is that red area. The POC is the red. Point of control. Got it. The point of control is red. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Like, I've heard of it before, and I've seen some people use it on their charts. You see how price keeps bouncing off that. So now if we zoom out and I look at that price level 89, so okay, 89.41. So the price keep bouncing off that. Yeah, in this consolidation zone over here, yeah. Let's zoom in. Take me off the screen. So if we zoom in, come on, zoom in. This price level that we had at $90.04. So it's just below that at 89.41. And this is when it was bouncing off of it, when the previous consolidation range right here finally got above that level. Exactly. Got you. Yep. Got you. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna look into this tool, do some more research, see what I can learn more about it. But anything that helps that person's style, that makes it easier for them to do to navigate the markets, that's how people need to do it. Like one shoe doesn't fit everybody's foot, so to speak. Like, got different styles. It might help one trader, and then you got different types of indicators and things like that. So like some of this stuff I don't even use anymore. Like the labels help me more now. I have this down here, this RSI and the histogram, the MACD histogram. Yeah, I agree. The price will bounce off the middle and exactly where it is now. Got it. And then, yeah, I agree. Yeah. And the only reason I'm saying that is because, even though you agree, only reason I'm saying that is because sometimes too many indicators, like sometimes when I know this looks busy on my chart, plus I added the volume profile you just discussed, but like, I know what those price levels are because they just support and resistance. But you know, like when people have those bands, so like they end up having like a 200, a 100, a 50, a 30, a 20, a 50, a 10, a 9. I'm like, man, what are you looking at? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, simpler is better. So like, if you're going to use a volume indicator, use 1 or 2. Don't use 4 volume indicators. If you're going to use SMAs, use 2, maybe 3, but don't use 5. That's my 2 cents or opinion on that. But yeah, thank you so much, man. You helped me out with that, because yeah, a few people have been mentioning it, and I heard of it, I've seen it before, but I didn't know how it worked in some of the stuff about it. But I can research and look into it. I'm actually sharpening up my research on my skills on options again. So I've been taking them courses on CBOE website. They're free. And I'm going to get back into reading my book. It's just another tool. Yep, absolutely. Just another tool. Yep. So and then I have to apply for level 2 options. I love options. And they are very powerful if you understand how they work. I don't think that everybody should do it, because it gives the illusion that it's a lot of gains, like as far as like the leverage, but you can lose everything. Like somebody thinks just because you use a small amount of money, like, well, it's cheaper to buy an option than it is to buy the shares. Like, yeah, but losing 100% of what you putting up is still losing all your money. It's just all of a smaller amount. That's it. So you know, but yeah, I love them. Yeah, it's not easy. No, not with those Greeks. But what I'm seeing, what's interesting me with options though, probability. So I know that the Greeks is going to affect the price and things like that, but from what I'm seeing, the odds automatically start off in your favor if you are the writer. So if you're the one that's short on the options, when you receive the premium, you start off ahead. So that's at least putting the odds in your favor with receiving the premium. Or if you're doing a spread where you're receiving a credit, you end up starting off ahead versus opening up a position that results in a debit, or buying an option where you end up paying a premium. But that's just the start. That's just one way to go about it. So yeah. But thank you, man. I gotta wrap it up, man. But I appreciate the comments and spending time with me tonight, and the community, and helping and sharing this information. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's the Tasty Trade mantra. It's a guy on YouTube. It's a bald guy. He got a bunch of option videos, hour courses, and he uses the Tasty Trade platform. You probably know who I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and go here. I'm gonna pull up the video real quick so you can see it. If I put in options, he's probably gonna be the first person to pop up. Probably gonna be the first person. YouTube. vertical options, bull spread. Yeah, like if you type in anything dealing with options, he's the first person that pop up. Just like I said, one of the first people. So here you go. This guy right here.
Above the put spread strike prices as time passes.
So where is the program? Because he used, there it is, Tasty Trade. Well, you said Tasty Trade mantra, but he used it. This is where I heard that from before. Tasty works. So I could have made a mistake, but he used Tasty Trades. I don't know if this was what you was referring to or not, but this is what I was talking about. But yeah. All right. Let me go here. Get ready to wrap the show up. Go here. Go here. Take that off. Take down the chat. Man, thank you so much. That's going to help out a lot. Thank you with these chats. All right. You already know. I hope that you learned something and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, July 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're reviewing this week's performance of the 11 sectors in the S&P 500 index, notable market news, learning how to use Thinkorswim's platform, and performing a live Q&A so we can focus on building our community. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Got a couple of comments. Let's pull them back up on the screen. Here we go. Comment from NLMJ. I never seen him. I'm surprised. If you ever looked up, I'm only surprised if you've ever looked up options on YouTube. If you've ever looked up options on YouTube, this guy seems to be the first person that always pops up every time I look. But I got you. You never seen them. And thank you so much. Appreciate the encouragement, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. And I'm happy to see you tuning in and chatting because you've chatted a few times before. I remember chatting with you a few times. So I appreciate you, man. I'm glad that you're still watching the content and you still coming to support and check out what we got going on, man. And you've helped me learn some stuff today as well. So yeah, guys, take care and God bless.